Well, hello there, guys, and welcome back to some more Armored Brigade. This time, guys, we are actually leading an American rear guard unit as we face some Soviet enemies. And in this case, they're going to try and push and take Jupiter and Mars, these two sections. We already have our men set up over here. We also have some actual locations where we're going to be calling in attack helicopters as well as scout helicopters. I might actually send in the Kiowa scout helicopter in a second. What we're going to do right now, though, is grab our tanks, the M1A1s, and send them where I think the enemy is going to approach, and that's going to be right about over here. Essentially coming in from Hoffenheit through this area on the road into Walroth. They could also come from the north, and we're certainly waiting for that possibility. But over here in the north, we have a few units that could potentially stand up to a fight, at least for a little bit, while we sort of get the rest of our units moving. Well, guys, as per usual, we will return when contact commences. Alright, folks, the battle has begun, guys. Now, what we're doing is we're actually taking our mortars and we're adjusting our frags for down here. We have a good idea of where the enemy's coming from, this area right here, and I want to go ahead, set our rounds here and start firing. We also have some tanks. We've already actually engaged the first unit. We got First Blood right there, and I don't want our tanks to advance too much. I've actually put them... Ooh, take a look at that in a second. Nice, guys. Another destroyed enemy vehicle. I've actually put most of the tanks in the forest here. That's where they're headed, to be right there at the front of the woods, or kind of on the edge of the woods, to get the best cover possible. That mortar, I think, is still adjusting. We'll give it some time. And I wanted to bring this group of mechanized infantry forward, but I think it's better actually just to keep these guys here. There we go, ready to fire. Let's go ahead and pop off. And it looks like our vehicles are already firing at any enemies going in this area. So this is actually really great. And I just want to keep on firing, popping off. There's no spotter here. We could get a scout to actually spot, but it's going to take a little longer, folks. Let him have it. Okay, hold on. We're taking indirect fire. Let's see what's going on here, guys. Where is this coming from? I'm not seeing anything. That's not good. These are actually infantry units. So let me advance. I'm going to fast move over here to this forest, and hopefully we will spot where the enemy's coming from. They're actually very, very close to one of the points, but we also have some tanks here that could spot them if anything goes wrong. There we go. Beautiful. Get the shot, boys. Beautiful. It's actually a recon vehicle, so I think that's great to take out. We got some more enemies approaching. They pretty much approached exactly where I anticipated they would, so let's hope that all of their units are going to approach that way. Another thing we're going to do, guys, we're going to call in some air support. I'll put our scout... Okay, he's moving, and let's take the gunship. And the gunship, I want to put... I think these are actually artillery target reference points. No, they're not. Good. So I'm actually going to put the gunship right here because they could have units here, guys, and it's not that difficult to take out a chopper with the appropriate AA. As you can see, though, it's going to take about 4 minutes for us to get that support. Nice. All right, let's fire off a few more mortar rounds here. And it looks like they're firing at us, guys. Look at that. That's much more effective artillery than what we have. Although we could go ahead and make a new fire mission. Let's go ahead and set it. So we're going to have a lot of guns. High explosive. Let's set the target. So I'm going to hit this general area, but it's going to take 5 minutes for that to come in. So we really have to hope that they stick around here. And the goal in this battle is to try and keep them in one location as long as we can. That way we can call in air support, we can call in artillery, and pretty much just take them out without having to lose anyone whatsoever. Of course, that's the best case scenario, and already our infantry are taking some hits over here. We can actually see 2 dead American infantrymen here from what looks to be maybe a mortar shot. So I want to find out where the hell the enemy is. I will start cutting these videos up, guys, so if you see a cut in the video, please understand I do that only so that we get the most action packed into the video as possible, but we very well might take little cuts here and there as we wait for this support. Alright, guys, I think that last push has potentially commenced. We've got enemy vehicles kind of streaming across this field, trying to make it to the other side. Now, this is leading me to believe that maybe it's a good idea to push our tanks back, but could be too early. They could be sending sort of a fake advance here and actually moving here. And since we still have units in this area, I'm not going to move the tanks up. It might be a bad idea, but I'm going to keep the tanks where they are in hopes that our infantry and potentially our IFVs over here at Hinterstein can stop the enemy. We've got to believe in our troops. You know, we've got to give them some jobs. We can't just leave all the responsibilities to our tanks. That's a bad idea. However, we've got enemy tanks right here, T-80s. We just managed to destroy one of the enemy vehicles, but T-80s could suggest that their main move is going to be here. Nonetheless, these guys are doing a great job, so I'm just going to let this IFV keep going to work, guys. I'm surprised we're not spotting them there. Okay, we are spotting them, but we're out of Law and Dragon ATGM rockets. Look at that. Wow. So we could potentially even kill that tank with the infantry, but they cannot fire if they don't have any of those vehicles. Any of those rounds, excuse me. Okay. Nice. Another one hit by one of our IFVs. We've got a perfect lateral hit on this thing, but we don't have any more ATGMs left. So we're out of ammo pretty much. At least significant AT ammo with any of the units in this sector in the north. They have used up so much in this battle that they're just not going to be able to produce any more. They don't have any more in their stocks. But I am going to take this tank unit and start advancing. We can pretty much move him back to this location without much difficulty anyway. And look at that. Oh, beautiful rear hit on the tank. One T-80 down. Can we get another one, boys? Come on now. Make me proud. Damaged. Beautiful. Destroyed, guys. Incredible. Incredible. And still some more enemy infantry moving up. And another tremendous round of artillery fire there. Yeah, absolutely. They know we're here, and this is going to be definitely where their advance is occurring. At least any educated guess I could think is going to suggest the advance is occurring there for sure. Okay, nice. Killed another group of enemy units there. Look at all those enemy troops, guys. Unbelievable. I think the enemy is going to have really significant infantry casualties here. Still hear some artillery striking, of course. And that's sure to continue. I think the enemy, as long as they have rounds, they're going to pop off rounds in locations where they think we're defending. You can see they've already done a lot of work here to the entire countryside. Alright guys, we might be going for a draw here. Of course, a draw would be acceptable to us. In a defensive situation like this, we might have to destroy the entire army before we get a draw. That could take hours. We'll see what occurs here. But I just don't see the enemy winning this battle at this point. Looks like our infantry's actually ran away there. The mech infantry section retreated out of the building. But you know what? I would allow this. Number one, they've taken 3 casualties. They are suppressed. They're just nervous, though. That's not a reason to run, but they are out of law and dragon rockets. And actually, they're getting pretty low on standard rounds as well. But I still think that they should have held their position there. The enemy vehicles were not engaging them. I think because they were in the building, they maybe didn't see them. And if any enemy infantry showed up, they could have definitely responded. I have to talk to those guys later. Alright, guys, we will return when action begins again. Alright, folks, so it looks like we have spotted some enemy units here with our tanks as they advance, and sure enough, I think most of the remaining guys are going to be here in this town. Almost certainly. It looks like as soon as we got here with our tanks, it was almost like finding a rat's nest. They immediately started to scatter in all directions. We actually hit a few before we started the video here, but it was hard to grab them again or view them again so quickly. So that's great. And I think if we could just keep this up, I'm hoping things will go well. You can see I did something pretty strange here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm moving our troops on an attack through these northern towns because I'm convinced that the enemy doesn't have a full hand here, that they don't have any tanks left, and that we could pretty much just roll over them. Could be wrong, but there's only one way to find out. Amazing shot there once again. Still enemy infantry trying to break across the field here. And anytime you see three like that, typically that does mean an AT team. When you see the larger groups, it's usually a motorized rifle team. Good shooting. Got some more, boys. Got some more. Missed shot right there. Completely missed. Good shot. And actually, we could see the turret popping off there. This whole field is destroyed, though. That's going to be one very upset farmer. All right, let's stop right here. No. Stop. Delete all. I want to put him right there. The edge of the woods, more or less. And sure enough, we spotted another tracked vehicle. They just keep on pushing through here, guys, coming from Yogerhof. That's where we saw them with our Kiowa earlier in the battle, and that's where they're coming from now. Just leaking out, streaming out, trying to press the objective. And that's going to be two tanks. Oh, man. M1A1 against the T-80s, guys. We've got four. There we go. One down. See if we can get the next one. Place your bets. Case of beer to the first tank crew that gets killed. Good shot. Great shot. All right, we still have some manpad teams. I think that's an enemy manpad. Let's see, it is a BRDM-2 Conkers. Nasty little devil. He's gone. Enemy's going to have to call a retreat or a ceasefire soon. There's just no way they can keep this up. And look at that, another T-80. Looks like just one of our tanks has spotted it. Let's hope that he can get the shot. It's this guy right here, the guy we actually put on the edge of the woods. And versus the T-80. The T-80's got eyes on us now, almost certainly. Or maybe not. Actually, that turret is continuing. No, I think it does have eyes on us. And it looks like one of the tanks was destroyed with the Law Rocket. Oh, no. Too bad, man. We just lost that one. Yeah, he was looking for us for sure. That crew is gone. Sorry, boys. You fought bravely. I'm not sure how the manpad team will react to enemy infantry. It might not be able to do much. Let's get this IFV forward just to make sure. Good shot. We got another one, guys. And that was the one that just killed our other tank, and I think it's because we got that side shot. Obviously makes it a lot easier to score a hit. Some more enemy contact. Wow. It's like a clown car. They just never stop coming out, guys. It really is a bit strange. I think at this point, I mean, the enemy army is going to have to be much larger than ours, because if you zoom out here, even if we had zoomed out in the beginning of the battle, this is a single mission, we have a much smaller force. Basically just this and a few other guys. It's going to be a tank for sure. Maybe not. And actually, this mech infantry section still has a few law rockets. The problem is he's pretty far away from his own command center, the IFV. So I'm going to move the IFV over here and move the infantry into the woods there. But it looks like the enemy vehicle is actually moving this way already. That's creepy, man. He knows our weak points. Okay, here we go. And it's not going to be a tank, just a enemy vehicle, a Conquerors, I believe. And now we will advance with these tanks, guys, into Unterstork. You can see so far the battle log is completely in our favor. But as we move these tanks forward, we do risk losing them again, of course. But, you know, it's just not something where we can just stay around, especially when the enemy is so badly destroyed here. I would assume they don't have any tanks left. We've destroyed 8 of their tanks. That would mean that they would have to have 3 tank groups, which, you know, again, pretty unlikely. I think all they have left are BRDMs, things like that. Of course, they could still kill our tanks with those. But we're going to get a few shots off before they do, more than likely. The Tunguska ADA. No idea what that is. Unfortunately, we can only send the gunship out once. One of them actually did survive, but I guess you can't continually send them out. It'd be kind of like cheating, I guess. And perhaps the game is just trying to make that realistic. I mean, think about it. If you have to send a helicopter back to base could be 20 minutes away, 30 minutes away. To return, it could take an entire hour. I still think there should be a time limit on that, though. So, for instance, maybe you get air support every 15 minutes or 20 minutes. That I would understand. Although even then, you know, right on the border of GDR and the German Federal Republic, I think they would probably have a lot of air bases nearby to refuel, restock, etc. Probably would just be an instantaneous process. But the game would be a little too easy if you could call in, you know, support aircraft every time you were in trouble. Look at all those enemy tanks. Enemy tanks, enemy vehicles. It is beautiful. Alright, folks, return if we get some action. There we go, boys. We got us a major victory. Not too bad, not too shabby. If you take a look there, 163 enemy troops lost, 48 vehicles lost, 3 aircraft, and of course 14 routed. We did lose, unfortunately, 24 men on our side, but that's definitely, absolutely acceptable losses for us. We can go back home with that, give it to the press, and this is going to be remembered in American history for all time. In this rearguard battle. But for the Soviet side, this general is going to have some explaining to do. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Once again, if you enjoy this channel and you enjoy the content on it, please do subscribe and share it with your friends. We're trying to grow the Strategy Gaming Network, and it's only going to happen through you. So share, like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Catch you on the next one, guys.